Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Driving the World podcast. I'm your host, Jared Scott, and today I have the privilege of speaking with Carissa Snyder, who is our customer service trainer for the United States. So how are you doing today, Carissa?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. Excited
Yeah,
to be here.
absolutely. So obviously customer service is in your title, so we're going to talk about that a little bit. And last episode, we talked about with Cully the need to go to online support and how that's super, super helpful. But we also said, hey, you can talk to a real live person as well. So when would you say online support is good? And then when do we want to shift over to, hey, I need to speak with someone in customer service?
Yes, so online support is going to be able to handle majority of a customer's needs. They can access previous quotes, previous orders. They can request to order spare parts, things like that. They need to contact customer service rep if they need something specific. This would be any special constructions or GFIs. Those things cannot be handled in online support. So this would be when they need to contact customer service. And of course, any general inquiries, they can contact them as well. But online support is a great tool to access all of those a lot quicker.
Absolutely. So if you can tell, we're really wanting to have people use online support, but there are definitely instances where we want people to contact customer service. And I was thinking about just in that, there's different ways we can contact customer service. Obviously, pick up the phone and call. Sorry, I use the old style phone style, but we do that, or you can send an email and type away. Which one would you use and why?
So each facility has their own specific email address as well. So one way to find out what that email is again to go to online support. If you go to online support, there's a contact us section, and you can type in your zip code, and it will tell you who your local rep is, as well as the email address for that customer service department. So, for instance, all of them are going to be CS and then the location. So, CS Lyman, CS Hayward, CS Bridgeport, CS Dallas, and CS Troy. So, those are all your options, but you
Okay.
can find all of those on online support. So, I would do first choice is going to be email. If you need to call customer service, that would be typically if you're sitting in an expedite. I would give it about 30 minutes, and then you could call in and just confirm that they have received that expedite. But other than that, I think email is going to be the best form of communication.
Yeah, email, obviously, the accuracy is there, but phone calls are important sometimes. And I was thinking, use that term expedite. Another E word I think about is emergency.
Yes.
And so what is an emergency? Because we all want our product, obviously. We want our customers to have the product as quick as possible and get those responses. But let's focus on that phrase. If everything's an emergency, nothing's an emergency. So what is a true emergency?
Yes, a true emergency is going to be if you are in a breakdown situation, your production is really limited and you need it ASAP. Again, like you said, everyone wants their units working, wants their products rolling. But it may feel like an emergency, but it's only really considered an emergency if you have a full breakdown.
So breakdowns, obviously, but maybe what's not an emergency?
Yes, not an emergency. That's going to include just general inquiries if you're wanting updates on quotes or orders or checking the status. So those are things that would not be considered an emergency, and also things that you can look at online support if you have an account. So you could a lot of times get that information quicker by looking that up yourself as well.
Yes. So great points. Definitely want to reiterate that you can call for anything, but
Yes.
we're just saying, how do you get things done expeditiously? There's different avenues to do that. So if I call and I'm like, I got a problem, Carissa, and I just don't know what to tell you. What should I, as a customer, be prepared to give you as a customer service representative so that we can get our issue solved?
Yes. So anytime you're reaching out to customer service, you're always going to want that SO number.
Yes.
That is going to be the key to getting any information from your order, your quote. So the easiest way is to have that nameplate ready. I know sometimes they may have it where you can't really easily access that unit. So if you can't really get to the nameplate that well, then you can reference an old PO or an old quote, and you should have that number on there as well. But definitely have that SO number ready. If you're sending an email, sending pictures of the nameplate, should
Mm.
pretty much cover all the bases. So have that and the SO number ready.
Yeah, pictures are great.
Yes, they
Yeah,
are.
especially if they're clear.
Definitely, yeah. Some of those units can get a little get dirty, get things in production on them. So we want to make sure we can get as clear of a picture as we can.
Gotcha. So you've talked about where customers can find this information, kind of have that at the ready. Now, let's just say I really don't have a lot of information. What are some things that maybe I could do to at least try to find out what's going on with this particular unit? Because you know how it is. Somebody in the shop says this conveyor unit's down and they don't send the people the information, and the people who are calling don't have the information. What can happen in those cases where maybe we can still help them?
Right. Definitely, I would just provide as much information as you can. Again, maybe if you can't get that SO number, you can check your emails to find any previous threads you've had with customer service or your sales rep. And a lot of times that's going to have some reference numbers as well that you can use. And then again, if you need some help but you don't know what's going on, I'm going to reference online support again because it's a great tool. There is a troubleshooting option that you can use there, and you can type in the unit and what you're using, and it will give you tips to troubleshoot and test to see if you can correct that error yourself or if you need to enter a service request.
Awesome. And I was thinking too, hey, if you're in the really bad spot, you can always call your sales representative, and
Yes.
they'll be happy to come out there and help you walk through it if it's a really bad situation. Because ultimately, we want our customers to be up and running and happy. So, what does a strong customer service email look like? We talked about phone calls, but if I send an email as a customer, what's going to help you to be able to take care of me as the customer in a quick manner, but also that it happens in an accurate manner?
Yes. So subject lines are going to be a big thing. We definitely want to have that SO number in the subject line as we can. And then we also want to add any keywords. So again, we mentioned expedite. So if you have a breakdown, you could use words like expedite, breakdown, need ASAP, things like that. If it's just a general inquiry, if we could put the SO number and then a quote or request for quote, we can put purchase order. Any of those keywords are really going to help stand out. As well as then in the body of the email, we want to have any and all information that you can include. And then going back to those pictures and attachments we mentioned of the nameplate especially, and if you want to provide any pictures of the unit itself.
Yes. And I know this is just email etiquette in general, but we definitely don't want to like bury multiple different topics in the same email, right? So
Yes,
if you've got a problem with a unit or an inquiry, one email per, right?
definitely.
Yeah.
And that is going to be, we want to send the CS emails if it is an initial request. If you've already been working with a CSR directly, we want to go ahead and just email that person back. That doesn't mean that if you've worked with them in the past and now you have a new order, email them directly. We want to send any new inquiries to our CS inboxes, but just to ask any follow-up questions about that specific order, if we just want to email that rep specifically.
Excellent, excellent. So, you got emails and phone calls, and I always use the analogy of like, if my house is on fire, I'm not going to send an email to the fire department, right?
Correct.
I'm going to call
Yes.
911. So, let's talk about the response times that customers can expect. Let's just start with phone calls and like, hey, I'm really in a tight spot. I need to get this going.
Right. Yeah. So if it's an expedite, whether that is through a phone call or through email, you can usually expect to get that expedite response time the same day. Of course, if you are contacting customer service after hours, there may be a little delay, but typically our after hours team are pretty good at still grabbing a hold of those orders and getting a quick response. So same day for expedites. If it's a standard inquiry, we want to get to those ASAP. There's not a specific time frame that we can expect, but our customer service does follow the first in, first out method, so you will get taken care of as soon as possible.
Absolutely. We got to do a lot of checks, right? Are the parts in stock? Different things like that. So,
For sure.
but the response time is excellent. I will say that.
Yes.
So we make sure that the customers are taken care of. So I think we can kind of close this up with what's one piece of advice that you would give customers if you could shrink this all down into just one statement instead of a 15-minute podcast. What would you say?
Yes, I'm sure all the listeners can guess that I'm going to say use online support. Just because it is a great tool, there are a lot of things that you can handle on your own, as well as using reordering anything that you've already ordered in the past. So that just saves some time to not have to go through customer service or your sales rep. You can access a lot of technical data, any spare parts list, any of that, it's just a great tool. So I would definitely encourage everyone to start using online support. You also get a discount if you order through online support. So that's a
That's
big one as
right.
well, especially if you're ordering a bulk of items. So I would look into that. And if you don't have an account, you can register on online support. So go to online support. At the bottom of the page, you have a contact us section. And in that area with guided tours, you also have a how to register for online support. And you can get all that set up right there.
Pretty much like anything else you register for, right? Just a
Yep,
few pieces of information and we got you going.
definitely.
Well, Krista, thanks a lot for sharing all that valuable information. And I certainly encourage all of you to take advantage of the customer service that we provide for you, whether it's through online support or through a phone call or an email to our awesome customer service teams located throughout the United States. So until next time, this is the Driving World Podcast. I was your host, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.